Good morning, Shield Wall Nation. This is your daily report. But before I even start, make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button with the bell notification icon as well, and make sure you share this video. And let's get into this. So, as we do, we'll start off with the COVID facts. Let's see. The global cases are 16,670,538. Global deaths, 657,222. Global recoveries are 10,261,544. U.S. cases are 4,433,410. U.S. deaths, 150,448. U.S. recoveries of 2,136,603. They're also still enforcing mask mandates. Bars in Texas are being forced to close down, but they are making a stand and saying no. So, I guess that's good. We get to still have our beer, cold beer, if we want to go out and get one. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this report. It says the Trump campaign manager, Bill Stipin, said that the 2020 election will be a knockout, drag-out fight. Until there's a decision on the winner, he says, I spent election night 2016 not in a hotel room, but rather in the election headquarters sending recount lawyers to states because the races were so tight in so many places. He also expects the campaign will be doing the same thing in just about 100 days. The Biden campaign has assembled 600 attorneys who are going into every single state to try to figure out whether chicanery is likely taking place. So yeah, it's going to be a huge drag-out fight. You got people that just absolutely hate Trump and don't care what the Democrats are representing. So they're going to vote Democrat, vice versa. Some people just hate the Democrats so much that they're just going to vote for Trump anyways. That's our right. And hopefully the electoral colleges will help out. But however, we'll see. And my assumption is if Trump wins, I have a feeling there's going to be something big that's going to happen. Big protests, obviously. Maybe huge riots, maybe more. Hopefully not more, but who knows. How things are going now, after 4 years of Trump being in office, things are ramping up. I can only imagine if he wins the election, that's going to send people completely over the top. Kind of going on that same... So yeah, so that's it. So I bet a lot of people have heard about the issue that happened in Austin, and it's about Garrett Foster. I'm sure most of you actually heard the issue that happened in Austin about Garrett Foster. He was 28 and shot and killed in a Black Lives Matter protest Saturday night. A vehicle reportedly drove aggressively towards protesters in the downtown area and was approached by Foster and other protesters. The driver of the vehicle opened fire with a handgun when Foster allegedly began pointing his AK pattern rifle at them. Other protesters allegedly opened fire on the vehicle after Foster was shot. The identity and the motive of the driver is still not publicly known. I did read a few other reports. It still doesn't say what he was doing there. But there have been multiple different reports. One says Foster opened fire, shot 5 times before the guy returned fire with his handgun. But a lot of things I've been reading states kind of what I said here. It never stated that he was aggressively driving. Most of what I read was it was stated that he drove up, Foster aimed his AK AK at the driver, started walking up to the driver with his AK drawn, aiming at the driver, and then the driver pulled out a handgun and shot, and then drove off. This is actually in a police report. He drove off. He then got to a safe location, called 911, explained what happened, explained his location, and listened to the authorities and stayed where he was. So that's that. And apparently he is free to go based off of witnesses and his account of what happened and witness account. It is true as well, what I read towards the end, that other protesters did open fire on him. So I've read there's no witnesses stating who that guy was. So there's that. So I mean, it's tragic regardless if you're being dumb or smart or whatever situation, you get shot by someone. So I hope the Foster family and everyone that loved him find some peace. So next, it is this little bit of the report is actually about what's kind of happening between China and the U.S. So it says Bridgewater's Ray DeLeo warned that an ongoing friction between the U.S. and China could lead to a capital war that could devalue the dollar. There's a trade war, there's a technology war, there's a geopolitical war, and then there's a capital war. The things I worry about the most are the soundness of our money. If we don't work together to do the sound things, to be productive, to earn more than we spend, to build the stability of our currency, and to build a balance sheet, we're going to decline. We are declining because of those things. So that, I mean, that's true. We do see the value of the dollar going down. However, there are some ongoing concerns. The fact that that China would influence the election and to replace Trump with someone more predictable and easier on China. So you've seen in Houston where they closed down a Chinese embassy, and then in China they closed down a U.S. embassy. So it's kind of, well, you do it, I'm going to do it. I think, this is just strictly my opinion, I think they're going to start slowing down trade and then realize it's hurting both economies and go, okay, we'll continue trade. We don't like you, but we're going to continue trade because, well, we need the products. And then China goes, well, we need the money. So, because we're China's biggest consumer. If we're not, we're one of the biggest consumers for China. And to shut that out, their economy is going to hurt. And they don't want that. And we don't want that either because, like I said, we are the biggest consumer. We receive a lot of product from them that we use. And that would hurt us as well. So, I think there's going to be a little dip in trade, and then it's going to come right back to where it originally was. Or if not, extremely close. That's my prediction. And that's how I hope would happen because it makes sense. And if it doesn't, it just shows there's two stubborn nations that just don't want to pull their head out of the ground. So, so I kind of, so that's the daily report. And especially with, I'm going to kind of reiterate back on the Austin incident with Foster. Like, if you're going out there to protest, you have every right, depending on your city and depending on your state, you have every right to carry a rifle, carry a handgun, carry a firearm. It's protected under a Second Amendment right, just like the protest that you're at with it is protected under the First Amendment right. Just be smart about it. If someone's driving aggressively and you're not in immediate danger, or people are not in immediate danger, there's no reason you should brandish your firearm. From the sound of it, his vehicle's at a complete stop. He came up with his rifle. No, you don't do that. That's kind of where you got in the wrong. Because the aggression was over, right? Then you brandish your firearm. Now you are the aggressor. Then he got shot. And that's how the guy got away. Now, if it was a different story where the guy was driving through the crowd, hitting people, and you still see him driving, and you hit him, and then he goes, what? And then comes up, pop, 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 and then drives off again. Okay. Unfortunately, you still died in the scenario. But now that guy's at fault. You have to be smart. Because all of us are... that light weapons are pro Second Amendment, and we train and we practice and we know safety, and there's some people that just don't practice that or don't know the laws in their area, and they think the laws in one state also apply to them, and no, it doesn't. Brandishing laws are different. In Washington, if I was concealed carrying and I happened to bend over and someone saw my handgun on me, I brandished my handgun. Laws may have changed. In Texas, if that same scenario happened, I didn't brandish. It was just accidental. I bent over and it just showed, right? So, not all laws in all areas apply to everyone. So, brandishing your weapon because you feel threatened compared to actually being threatened is completely different. And unfortunately, someone paid for it. But I hope in that situation, people have learned from it. I really do. Because we can't take his life as a waste and just start burning and looting stuff, once again causing crime just because of that. Justice has already been set. We need to learn from it now. So those are my thoughts. You can agree, disagree. You can put down in the comment below that I'm a complete idiot, or I see where you come from, or I don't know what's going on, or my mom locked me in the basement and now I'm here playing video games, whatever. So go down, like, subscribe if you like the video, and make sure you stay strong, you stay resilient. Shield wall up.